Do you ever just want to try to learn how to write? Hi, my name is Phil Ahrens, and today we are going to talk about something that I've been trying to talk about for a long time. One of the things I've done over the years in my life is that I have written stories over time. And the stories are not like big stories, but they're stories that I felt like should be told. And in that sense, they have been told. But now I want to give you the information that I've learned throughout the years of writing to give to you guys. So just listen very carefully. Some may sound harsh, but that's not really the point at times. Sometimes it has to be harsh because sometimes you just need to know what you're doing and how you do it. Now, the first rule is that it's just going to be very harsh. And I think I've said in one of my shorts before that your writing is going to suck. What I mean by that is you're not going to always have a perfect story. These stories take time to write, to make, and everything. If you could succeed on just one story alone in your head and write it perfectly, that would be awesome. But the truth is that it's going to suck. Why? Because you are still learning how to write and construct stories. My suggestion is, so that way you can still learn, is with rule number 2 here, that you start with a world that's already made instead of making your own right away. And latch on, learn the rules of that world, take characters from that world you want to interact with, and make it into a story that you can be proud of, but also learn the basics of writing. Now, like I said before, is it going to suck? Probably. But at least you're going to learn the basics of how characters interact, how certain things go into that, and etc. Because it's going to teach you everything and get you ready for your own world. Rule number 3 is to always have something to write with new ideas, because there's always going to be ideas in your head that you cannot always write down whenever they have the moment when you're near a computer or a notebook. But have a smaller notebook, and that should help you, get everything ready for basically the world that you want to make, or just ideas that you want to put down on that notebook to have for later. You should always carry it with you when you're at work, out on and about, or just around the house if you're inside. A lot of times you'll get busy and you're not always going to have time to write everything down on a computer. So to have that notebook is really a good idea because you can write down those ideas or draw them if you are a person that draws and takes that to a story and put that in for later. Now, there is still going to be a lot of things you have to worry about, even if you still get past all the rules that I've mentioned earlier. And here's something that is really true about this, and we'll get into another rule. Rule 4, there's always going to be critics out there. People are not going to like your work. People are going to argue with you. People are going to basically take everything you say or everything you write and tell you how bad it is. You are still wanting to write, and that's good. But don't let those comments get better of you. There are going to be comments out there that are just going to outright say that you suck, and there are going to be comments out there that are going to criticize you. I say keep working at it, and if you see any criticisms and notice them that you and your work are, like I've had many times, and also I've written something that basically made something that didn't make any sense for a friend of mine. I'm like, when she addressed it, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? She showed me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't write it like that. It was meant to be something else. And I fixed it with one of the stories that I'm doing at now. And you can take that criticism, like I did, and you either can accept it's like, oh, that's not what I meant by that. I meant this, and rewrite it, or go the angry route and basically ignore it or go angry at them. Listen, at the end of the day, you pray and hope that you do not write Sonichu or Empress Teresa. And you pray that you won't be into that. Like, you won't be writing that kind of thing. The truth is about writing is that it's going to take time. I do have like more tips or anything, and I'm going to try to remember some of the tips, or you can look at my shorts. But overall, when you do write these things, you have to basically think and try to do the best you can to show what you can do as a writer. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. It's going to take a long time. In fact, I always had messy handwriting, and over time, I've had neat handwriting where people can understand and read it. And there have been moments, even at my work with my stories and everything, that I do not want to really tell what my stories are because I'm afraid that people will not get it. And you know what? That's okay. You tell people what your story is about when the time comes. Anyway, that's all I have for here today, and I hope you do enjoy your day wherever you're out there, and I'll see you all in the next video.